Elephants are kind animals that capture our imaginations and hearts. African and Asian elephants are the two types of elephants that exist today. Savannah elephants and forest elephants, according to certain genetic analyses, are two distinct species that make up the African elephant. Every elephant is in danger. In India, Sri Lanka, and Southeast Asia, Asian elephants travel across forests and grasslands. The population of African elephants travels through 37 countries in sub-Saharan Africa, passing through thorny woods and dry deserts. These are enormous sentient beings. Asian elephants can grow to a height of over 11 feet and weigh up to 6 tons. Elephants in Africa can grow from 8 to 13 feet tall and weigh over 6.5 tons. Elephants from Asia and Africa can live for 60 to 70 years. Despite our extensive knowledge of elephants, there is still plenty to discover about these sophisticated animals. You may discover more about the amazing elephant, from their capacity for language distinction to their benevolent demeanor. Here are some interesting things that you might not know about elephants.
1. Elephants never forget. Elephants have legendary memories, and for good reason. Elephants are the land mammals with the greatest brains. Even after many years have passed, they are still able to recall far-off watering sites, other elephants, and people they have come into contact with. Elephants pass on a wealth of knowledge through their matriarchs from one generation to the next, and this knowledge exchange has helped the animals survive. They can also recall how to travel over long distances to find food and water sources, as well as how to get to alternative locations should the need arise. What's more impressive is that they change their plans to get there just as the fruit they're looking for is about to ripen. 2. They can distinguish languages. Elephants demonstrate a sophisticated comprehension of human communication. The voices of speakers from two different groups, one that preys on the elephants and another that does not, were replayed by researchers at Kenya's Amboseli National Park. The elephants were more likely to take protective measures, such as clumping together and sniffing the air, when they heard the voices of the group they were afraid of. The elephants also reacted less strongly to female and younger male voices, with mature male voices eliciting the most agitation, the researchers discovered. Elephant communication goes beyond comprehension. One Asian elephant picked up Korean word impersonation. Theoretically, he learned to mimic words as a way of forging social bonds because his only social contact as a child was with people. 3. They can hear through their feet. Elephants can communicate vocally over vast distances and have a keen sense of hearing. They emit a range of noises, such as roars, howls, barks, and snorts. However, they have a specialization in low-frequency rumbles and have peculiar hearing. A Stanford University researcher named Caitlin O'Connell Rodwell discovered that elephants' foot stomping and lower-frequency vocalizations reverberate at a frequency that other elephants can hear through the ground. Elephants are able to hear these infrasonic signals thanks to their enormous ear bones and delicate nerve endings in their feet and trunks. Elephants' ability to sense such seismic shocks is also beneficial to their survival. An angry elephant may be warning other elephants hundreds of kilometers away when it stomps, in addition to the people nearby. Additionally, an elephant's cry may be directed at distant family members when it rumbles. 4. Elephants are excellent swimmers. The fact that elephants enjoy having fun in the water may not come as a surprise. They are well known for spraying themselves and other people with water from their trunks. However, it may come as a shock to learn that these enormous beasts are actually quite adept at swimming. Elephants have sufficient buoyancy to float at the surface and paddle with their muscular legs. In order to breathe normally even when submerged, they also use their trunk as a snorkel when navigating deep water. Elephants must be able to swim in order to cross rivers and lakes when in search of food. 5. They support those in need. Elephants are extremely intelligent and gregarious animals that exhibit traits like compassion, empathy, and generosity that are familiar to people. Researchers who studied elephant behavior discovered that when one felt upset, other elephants in the area would respond with cries and touches meant to comfort the person. This behavior was previously only observed in apes, canids, and corvids in addition to humans. Elephants also exhibit empathy and targeted helping, in which they work together to care for a sick or injured person. 6. They can suffer from PTSD. Elephants are known to have sensitive souls, deep familial ties, a need for comfort, and a lengthy memory. The fact that elephants that suffer tragedy, such as seeing a family member slaughtered by poachers, exhibit symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder should not come as a surprise. Even decades later, poached calves will exhibit symptoms of PTSD. Long after they have found refuge in a sanctuary, elephants who have been liberated from terrible conditions still display PTSD symptoms. These traumatic events also have a deleterious effect on learning. Young elephants lose important social knowledge that would have been passed down by adults when selective individuals are killed during a cull or by poachers. 7. Elephants need their elders. The elder elephants transmit all the knowledge required for the species' survival. Spending time with older family members, especially the matriarchs, is essential for young elephants to learn everything they will need to know as adults. The herd's matriarch carries the wisdom of the ancestors and imparts vital knowledge to the young, such as how to react to various situations and where to locate food and water. Asian elephants are less hierarchical than their African relatives and exhibit less dominance based on age or gender, contrary to the matriarchal society that African elephants live in. This disparity in social structure might be explained by habitat. In Africa, where situations are more difficult, the wisdom of the elderly is more priceless. In areas of Asia, where predators are few and resources are abundant, strong leadership is not as necessary. 8. They can't live without their trunks. An elephant's trunk has around 40,000 muscles, making it both strong and incredibly sensitive. Elephants smell, eat, breathe underwater, produce sounds, clean themselves, and defend themselves using their prehensile trunks. Elephants can pick up microscopic objects thanks to the fingers at the tips of their trunks. African elephants have 2, but Asian elephants only have 1. Elephants are extremely dexterous, and they can pile up little objects like grains by forming a joint with their trunk. To choose which items to consume, an elephant will extend its trunk and use its sense of smell. Asian elephants were able to tell, just by smelling, which of 2 sealed buckets held more food in a 2019 study. A different study discovered that African elephants could distinguish between different vegetation and select their favorite using simply fragrance. Elephants also hug, caress, and soothe one another with their trunks, and young elephants suck their trunks in the same way that infants do with their thumbs. Evidently, this teaches them how to make better use of their trunks. A juvenile elephant learns how to regulate and manipulate the muscles in the trunk so that it may fine-tune its use, thanks to the over 50,000 muscles in the trunk. 9. They are related to the rock hyrax. Surprisingly, the rock hyrax, a small, furry herbivore native to Africa in the Middle East that resembles a rodent, is the elephant's closest living relative based solely on size. Manatees and dugongs are additional creatures that are closely related to elephants, a marine mammal that looks like a manatee. Despite its looks, the hyrax nevertheless resembles elephants in certain ways. These include flattened nails on the tips of their digits, tusks that originate from their incisor teeth, as opposed to most mammals, who produce tusks from their canine teeth, and several commonalities among their reproductive systems. Tethetheria, which went extinct more than 50 million years ago, is the ancestor of the manatee, rock hyrax, and elephant. The animals have had ample time to follow extremely distinct evolutionary pathways. They still share a tight relationship despite differences in appearance and behavior. 10. Elephants honor their dead. Elephants are known to be highly sensitive, but their sentient nature is most evident in the interest they show for the deceased. Elephants even show curiosity in other unrelated species, inspecting, touching, and sniffing the dead animal. Researchers have seen elephants returning frequently, making an effort to save dead animals and emitting distress calls. Elephants will return and touch the bones of an animal long after it has passed away with their feet and trunks. A young 10-year-old elephant who visited her mother's cadaver in Kenya was reported by the Washington Post as leaving the scene with the temporal glands on each side of her head gushing liquid, a behavior related to stress, fear, and violence. Maybe a form of tears? 11. They use dirt as sunscreen. Elephants prefer to play in the mud for a good reason. Despite having a tough-looking hide, elephants have delicate skin that is susceptible to sunburn. Elephants cover themselves in sand to protect themselves from the sun's harmful rays. Elephant adults will also cover little ones with dust. Elephants frequently put mud or clay over themselves as a layer of protection after taking a bath in a river. 12. They have math skills. When it comes to math, Asian elephants may be among the most intelligent members of the animal kingdom. Asian elephants were being taught to operate a touch-screen computer by researchers in Japan. One of the 3 elephants was able to select the panel with more fruit when given a choice between different quantities. Only Asian elephants have been demonstrated to have this skill, it should be mentioned. Different cognitive capacities may have emerged from the split of the African and Asian elephant species 7.6 million years ago, according to researchers. According to some research, the average EQ for Asian and African elephants is 2.14 and 1.67, respectively. 13. Elephants are at risk. Every elephant is in danger. African elephants are at risk, while Asian elephants are in peril. Elephants are mostly at risk from habitat loss, fragmentation, and degradation. Elephants are also threatened by people. Conflicts between the animals and people have resulted in the retaliatory slaughter of elephants when farmers encroach on the habitats of elephants to produce crops. Asian elephants in particular cannot cohabit with the growing human population because they live in one of the world's most populous regions. There are several creative initiatives to keep elephants away from fields and human settlements, easing conflict between the 2 species. Project Orange Elephant in Sri Lanka is one instance where farmers are encouraged to plant orange trees around their residences and garden plots because elephants detest citrus fruits and the farmers benefit from an additional product to sell for profit. The illicit and legal hunting and poaching of elephants for their tusks, skin, flesh, and fur have been a major factor in the reduction of elephants, notably in Africa, notwithstanding the 1989 worldwide trade ban on the sales of ivory. Since only male Asian elephants have tusks, the poaching of these animals also reduces the number of males in the mating population and genetic diversity. Those were some unique facts about elephants. Don't forget to follow our channel, like and share if this video is useful. Thank you for watching.